Hello and welcome to Evanston High School for the 1994 Boys Swimming and Diving State Championships here on Sports Channel. Hi, I'm Tom Dorr along with Tim Dolling. We'll be describing the action for you today, and this is an interesting meet. And first thing I've got to ask you is some of the outstanding athletes that we've got here. What a great event today.
It's going to be great. We've got one returning state champion from last year, a number of runner-up swimmers from last year. We've got Steve Von Glukite going after his first individual state title from Fenwick. We should see some great races.
All right, in fact, right now, let's talk about some of the outstanding athletes that you're going to see today. And everybody, it seems like, comes from Friend, or at least a lot of them.
Well, Tyler Holcomb, last year he came down with mononucleosis. He's come back this year, and it looks very strong about the 200 and in the 500. Keith Bewick from Stevenson, he had a sort of a disappointing meet yesterday, but we still should see him score some points. Steve Munns from St. Charles, great butterfly. He's one of the butterflyers that could be in, and the winner is going to probably break the state record, as with Matt Johnson. As I mentioned, Steve Von Glukite, he's in the IM and in the breaststroke. There is nobody near him in the breaststroke. So if he doesn't win the IM, he's certainly going to have the individual title. Mike Lynch from Fenwick came on very strong in the 100 yesterday, so we should see some points out of him. Matt Whitfield from Glenbrook South, he's the only defending state champion. He's got about a 9-point lead right now. Hopefully, if he doesn't blow a dive, he's going to be the winner. Frank Leo from Brother Rice did an outstanding job in the 500. He and Tyler Holcomb, they played cat and mouse throughout the prelims yesterday. It's going to be a great race there. And Kasaki Chiligaris, he changed events from last year. He went the IM. This year he went the 200. So we could see a double winner out of him. He's going to give Tyler Holcomb the big race.
All right, now let's talk about the team race for a second, because this is pretty well a given, I guess, from everybody that Fremd is going to win this, right?
Fremd, last March when the state meet ended, they decided they were going to be the state champions. Paul Reef has spent all year getting the kids ready. They came in yesterday. They did exactly what they had to do. They placed the kids in the top 6. They placed 2 of their relays in the top 6 and 1 in the bottom 6. As long as they show up today, they're going to win the meet.
All right. So it sounds like it's Fremd, but we'll bring you all the action. Coming up, the IHSA 1994 Boys Swimming and Diving Championships here on Sports Channel. Back here at Evanston Township High School in Evanston as we prepare for the Swimming and Diving Championships. And first of all, let's talk about point systems. And Tim, well, first thing we're going to see is the 200 medley relay consolation finals. And you get points for this. This is not something that's just for the guys to do, right?
No, all 12 swimmers will score today. The only restriction is that if you're in the consolation finals, the highest place you can get is 7th place. Whereas in the championship finals, the worst place you can get is 6th place. So the scoring is very good. It's very important to be in the championship finals. Okay,
and here's our consolation heat. Homewood Flossmoor is in lane 1. That's the top of your screen. Then it's Stevenson, Naperville North, Marmion, Fremd, and MacArthur. And that's Decatur MacArthur. And we got some guys in here who are outstanding swimmers in the first leg. And as we're ready to go, just about.
The swimmers in lanes 3, 4, 5, and 6 are all outstanding backstrokers. Todd Ramsbottom, Mark Burke, and Jay Glenn are all qualified in the championship heat later on. And Tucker Shade, who is in the IM and the butterfly, is also in there. Looks like lane number 4, Mark Burke, a freshman, is leading him in.
And here goes set number 2.
Lane number 6, Trey Cook, a breaststroker from Decatur MacArthur. He should give his team a slight lead. Jason Nagel from Marmion, lane number 4, should be able to hold him in close.
As they come in
lane 6, Parker Shade, Tucker's brother, is going to have to hang on tight because he may be the slowest of the 3 butterflyers in the lead. Matt Illenfeld in lane number 3 from Naperville North is going to try to bring his team back now.
And he has come on very strong here.
Very strong. Matt didn't get a chance to swim yesterday, so he's probably a little more rested than is Ben Happ. Vince Kuna and Jeff Hicks are going to anchor this. And lane 6, Scott Clevenger. The importance in this sprint is the turn. They're all going to go in together. Whoever gets out quickest usually is going to hang on.
And it's lanes 3 and 4 that are right there.
Vince Kuna from Naperville.
And Naperville North gets the win. There's the results. Naperville North and Marmion. Boy, it came right down to the stretch. 48 to 72 hundredths of a second. All right, let's see it again here.
Okay, Vince Kuna, he came off the wall very strong, just a little bit ahead of Jeff Hicks. You can see Jeff is trying to catch him right at the end, and it's all in that last stretch that they get. Vince was able to get it in. He brought home the 7th place for Naperville North.
All right, our championship finals now. In lane 1, it's Stagg. Lane 2, St. Charles. Hinsdale Central, one of the pre-tournament favorites, in lane 3. Fenwick's in 4. Loyola Wilmette in 5. And Freeport is in lane 6. And who do you like here, Tim?
Well, Hinsdale Central has got to be the odds-on favorite. But I'd like to see Fenwick today. They just swam a little tentative yesterday, just making sure they made the finals. What I also liked is Steve Van Gluckai, who is their breaststroker and their IMer, is leading off the backstroke. And yesterday, he did almost the entire first length underwater kicking. That's something that you see in a lot of the colleges, but not too much in high school.
He'll be in lane 4 as we get going.
Steve tries to get down under the water and kick. Looks like he's going to go about to the flags and then come up.
That's quite an advantage, obviously.
They say it saves a lot of initial energy, and with strong legs like he has, he's able to get off.
Well, he has got the lead right now.
Okay, Mike Brennan, the breaststroker, little bit of a lead. Hinsdale in 3rd, little slower coming off. Matt Barnett is a qualifier in the breaststroke for Hinsdale, so he should be able to bring his team back.
Hinsdale in lane 3 as you look down from the top, and he has brought his team back.
One of the nice things about the individual medley is you have 4 distinct personalities. In lane 2, you have Steve Munns, a butterflyer. So now you're going to see if he can bring his team back into the race. Tim Kelly from Fenwick is going to try to keep them in, and then it's going to come down to the sprinters. You've got Chad Stone for St. Charles, Cam Corden, Hinsdale Central, and Scott Johnson for Fenwick. Fenwick with a slight lead. Scott
But it
Johnson
is very close.
Fenwick needs these points more than anybody else if they want to try to win the 3rd place trophy.
As they come off the last turn and sprint for home.
Loyola Academy's Brendan Smith is giving a good run. Hinsdale's closing in.
It is very close.
And it is Fenwick. They hold on.
Fenwick, by 8/100ths of a second, gets the championship. Look at that. 137.71 compared to 137.79.
And Loyola Academy was right there at 38.02. Very close race. Coming in, any one of these 3 swimmers could have won the race. Scott Johnson just seemed to have a better stretch with that left arm. What a great finish down in lane 6.
And we'll have the award ceremony coming up next. And the champions of the 200 medley relay, Fenwick High School. You said you'd like to see them win. Carol Bobo is going to present the awards. She's, of course, the girls swimming coach at Hinsdale Central and serves the IHSA Boys and Girls Swimming Advisory, and Fenwick wins it. You kind of wanted to see them pull it out, didn't you?
I'd like to see the meet be close. With Hinsdale Central and Fenwick fighting for that second place trophy, this is a big point spread. It's 6 points more for Fenwick and 6 points less for Hinsdale, so that brings the gap a little closer. Now anything can happen. It's going to make it for a much better meet as we go along.
And as they announce congratulations, we get ready for the results one more time. Fenwick wins it 137-71. Hinsdale Central almost by a little bit longer fingernail, 137-79, comes in second. Loyola Wilmette comes in third. Then Freeport, St. Charles, and Stagg round out the top 6. Now it's time for the 200-yard freestyle relay. A little different event as you go freestyle for 200 yards. And Tim, who do you like here?
Well, we've got some interesting competitors to start off with. You've got Mike Lynch, who is a very quick sprinter in lane 1. He likes to go out fast. Then you have Aaron Groves, who is a distance swimmer. He's also qualified in the finals in the 500. Eric O'Donnell, a sprinter in the butterfly. Lane 4 is probably going to be your favorite, Frank Leo. He came on last night to take the top spot in the prelims in the 500. So he could be our winner in this one. Greg Plank, a young sophomore, is a backstroke specialist in lane 5. So we should see the sprinters in lanes 1 and 5 going out early, and then lanes 2 and 4 coming down the last 50 to 75 yards, putting a good race on them.
Well, so far you called it pretty well, because that's the two that are leading right now as you see them touch and come for home for the 100 mark.
Well, Mike Lynch, again, he's from Fenwick. His team is fired up. If he could move from the 11th seed up to 7th, he can give his team a lot of valuable points. But the race has still got 4 more lengths to go. We should start seeing the middle lanes 2, 3, and 4 starting to pull the pack back to them. As you can see, the teammates, the fans, are all keeping their teammates in the races. Greg Plank, lane 5. He seems to be very strong right here. He's only got 50 yards to go, and he has a pretty strong lead. Frank Leo seems to be laying back. He may have laid back a little bit too long. With only about 30 yards to go, that's an awful lot of room to make up. Lane 2, Aaron Groves, Peoria Ridgewoods, come out of the turn very well. He's moving up a little bit. Mike Lynch, who was out in the 100 very fast, seems to have faded a little bit.
And as they touch, a very obvious winner in lane 5.
Greg Plank, a very nice swim.
And there you see the results. With the diving board in the way, you can't quite see lane 6. We understand that. But lane 5 comes in first.
Okay, as you can see, Mike Lynch at the top had a great lead early on, but he fell back. Greg Plank, a sophomore backstroker, held on in the middle, second and third lane. Aaron Groves, the distance freestyler, he held on for second, came back.
And now we get set for the championship finals, and you'll hear some noise from this crowd now.
This should be one of the best races. The Kostaki Chiligiris in lane 3, Tyler Holcomb, lane 5. This is a rematch of last year where they finished second and third respectively. So we should see a great race out of them.
There you see Holcomb in lane 4 is what we have here. And a good start.
The sleeper could be Bill Gillespie up in lane 2.
From Peoria Richwoods.
Duke Shin in lane 5 is also one of your sprinters. He likes to go out very fast, see if he can hang on. Tyler Holcomb is your distance swimmer. He likes to take it out a little bit slower, but come on in the end. Now, Kostaki yesterday, he swam the first 100 yards almost like it was a warm-up. When he came out after the first 100 yards, he just blew away the field. So let's see what he does with Tyler right next to him today. They were out about 48.8 seconds, which is a pretty fast pace, but Kostaki was able to maintain it.
And he retains the lead as they come into the next turn.
And they're out a little bit slower than yesterday, which may lead Kostaki to be much better shape because he's a much better sprinter at the end.
He leads Holcomb now, but not by very much.
He's opening up a pretty good lead, though. He's got a very strong kick.
That was a nice turn he just made down there.
He's breathing every stroke, looking at his competitor. He's got almost a full body length lead. Bill Gillespie trying to hang on. Tyler is starting to make his move. Kostaki is moving away to the opposite side of the lane, getting away from him so that he can't have any draft taken. Bill Gillespie's moving up on Tyler, and it looks like Kostaki's going to hang on.
As they come in for the touch, it is Kostaki, and we'll see who wins second. Holcomb won it. Holcomb comes in second.
And Bill Gillespie, Richwoods close in third.
And we'll show you the board again. In lane 3, Kostaki Kilagaris, 140.41. Tyler Holcomb, 141.04. And then in third place, it was Bill Gillespie at 141.49. Let's see him coming down the stretch again.
Kostaki went out the first 100, almost a second slower than yesterday, but he came back the last 100 almost 2 seconds faster. So he's a very strong swimmer. We could see our first double winner when he gets into that 100 freestyle later.
All right, we'll take a quick break, come back, and give you the award winners for the 200-yard free. And here is our winner. Stephen Decatur, Kostaki Chiligaris, and presenting the award is Sue Ansett, head girls swimming coach at York High School. She's also on the Boys and Girls Swim Advisory Committee. But there is your winner in the 200-yard freestyle. And he really had a strong finish, led throughout, and just kind of took over. Let's take a look at the results again. Any surprises here, Tim?
No, not at all. I think Kostaki is definitely the class in the 200. He should also win the 100. Tyler did a great job. He improved his seed from yesterday. He just ran up against a better swimmer in Kostaki.
All right, let's move on to the 200 individual medley and our consolation finals. You see the state record 150.245, and our lane assignments now. Again, this is the consolation finals that come up first. Championship finals come up second. Daniel Cherwin, Tucker Shade, Todd Capon from Naperville North, Wes Rudin in lane 4, Chad Morris in lane 5, and Matt Bowers in lane 6. Who's the favorite here, Chief?
Well, Tucker Shade has got to be the favorite. He came into the meet with the second fastest qualifying time. Whether he misjudged the competition yesterday or just didn't swim well, he ended up in the consolation heat. He's clearly the class of this heat. He's an outstanding butterflyer and an outstanding backstroker, so he should give himself a very good lead right off the bat. Wes Rudin from Springfield Ursuline, he's also an outstanding butterflyer, which we seem to have a lot of. The swimmers in lanes 5 and 6 are both breaststrokers, so you should expect them to fall behind a little bit early and then start to catch up. But Tucker he's eating them alive this early in the race.
He has got a big lead. Look at that.
Now, he may be trying to avenge a poor swim yesterday. He came back and swam a great race in the butterfly, so maybe this was a wake-up call for him. Todd Capon from Naperville North, a freshman, is giving him a pretty good race. Todd also qualified in the 500.
Well, as you expected, he is way out in front of everybody else. But the interesting thing is, first place in this just means a little more than second place in this. It's not that big of a difference.
It's not that. It's 7 points versus 5, but it's more prestige. He still can make the time. The time can give him All-America status. The time can help him get a college scholarship. So it's important for him in a personal way, more than a team aspect.
So what time would he be looking for, do you think?
Oh, I'm sure he's going to try to go in the 154s just to show that he really did belong in that top heat. If he can go 154, then that's where he should have been.
As he stretches in, 155 as he comes in. 155.2 is his time.
Right, 155.2. That's a pretty good swim. He went a little faster in the prelim, or in the sectional meet last week.
There you see the results. And a nice result here. Todd Capon, the freshman from Naperville North, comes in second. Got to think his future's pretty bright, huh?
Todd's a big kid. He's an excellent 500 swimmer who's helping the team out today with the IM.
Here's where he kind of took over. Look at the push he gets off.
As he comes off that wall, in the backstroke, you're allowed to roll over onto your stomach. But once he came off that wall and had his body length lead, he's keeping his head very steady, rotating his shoulders. Actually, there is a breathing cycle, breathing every other stroke.
All right, our championship finals now. Here are the lanes. Bill Bishop from Barrington, Brian Brinkley from Friend. They've got quite a group here. Fenwick, Rantoul, Normal, and Hinsdale kind of rounded out, and that Fenwick swimmer is pretty strong, Tim.
Steve Von Glukite is probably going to be the sentimental favorite today, at least in this race, because he's not won an individual event yet.
He is in lane 3.
He is going to get competition from Brian Brinkley, who was 4th in this event last year, and Brian Fulling, who was 6th in this event last year. But Steve has been training for this race all year. He wants to prove that he's more than just a breaststroker. He was a state finalist in the butterfly last year, so we should expect him to go out, and we know he's the #1 breaststroker.
Von Glukite and Brinkley are 1-2 so far, but right there is Fulling from Rantoul.
He's about a half a second faster than he went yesterday, and he's only a little over a second off of the state record. Maybe just winning the state championship won't be enough. Maybe he wants the state record at the same time. He's got a pretty good lead, and we all know that he's the best breaststroker in the pool, so he should open it up even more.
Boy, second place is a tight race. You've got 3 swimmers. Lanes 1, 2, and 4 are right there with him.
Well, Bill Bishop in 1, he's more of a distance swimmer, so we shouldn't see anything out of him. Brian Brinkley's a butterflyer, so he may not catch up. But lane number 5, Ryan Ruddy, is a breaststroker, so we may see him start to pull in closer to the field.
Von Glukite comes up ahead of everybody else as expected.
But he's not pulling away as much as I thought. Brian Brinkley is giving him a great race. He's staying a lot closer than I thought he'd be able to.
Ryan Ruddy fighting it out right now with Brinkley for second place. Brinkley in lane 2, Ruddy in lane 5.
And Steve is about a half a second faster than yesterday. That'll be short of a state record, but I'm sure he'll be real happy if he just gets a state championship. But Brian Brinkley's not going to let him go easy. Coming down to the end.
Brinkley is pushing hard here at the end. And he may not catch him, but he'll come in second in a good race for third.
Great swim by both boys.
And we have a tie for third place.
Tie for third. Brian Foley and Ryan Ruddy come in at the exact same time.
But your winner, Von Glukite, 153.21. And look at this, 153.56 for Brinkley right there with him. That's a nice finish. Let's see him coming down the stretch here.
They're almost stroke for stroke. Von Glukite is turning over just a little bit faster. He's got a slightly shorter arm pull. They're just going to be right neck and neck. We're looking at 0.4 of a second, 0.3 of a second. Great finish.
Lanes 4 and 5 come in and tie for third place. We'll take a break, come back, and give you the winner for the 200 IM right after this. And back here at Evanston, and there's your 200 IM champion, Steve Von Glukite. Presenting the awards is Willie May, co-athletic director here at Evanston Township High School. He gets a big hand as he waves to the crowd. Willie May is serving as state final manager of the tournament. Von Glukite gets the championship, and I know you got a little smile on your face for that.
Steve has had an outstanding 4 years at Fenwick. He's had numerous relays, championships. His team has won a couple of state trophies. He deserved one.
There you see the times as Von Glukite gets the win. Frem keeps piling up the points. Brian Brinkley comes in second, Fulling third. Ruddy, Bishop, and Allegra round out the top 6. Now we're ready for one of the sprints, the 50-yard freestyle. Event number 4 here at Evanston High School, the IHSA State Championship. Here are your lane assignments for the 50 free.
Okay, up at the top you have Renee Barrican from Mount Carmel. Lane 2, John Kedmowitz from Niles West. Lane 3, Matt Barnett, Hinsdale Central. Lane 4, Adam Tierney from Quincy. Lane 5 is Lucas Carlson from Guilford High School. And lane 6 is Dan Bucko from Lockport.
Go ahead.
This race is just down and back. Very few of them will even breathe until they hit the turn. Whoever gets off the blocks. Lane 2 got a great start. He looks like he's going to be ahead coming out of the turn. Lane 5, Lucas Carlson. He was 7th in this event last year. He looks very strong again.
And it is going to come right down to the wire. Did Niles West win? He did.
Lane 2, Niles West. John Kazmowitz, followed by Lucas Carlson.
There are the times. 21:62 for Kazmowitz.
Both swimmers improved on their seed time, went faster. That's about all a coach can ask them to do. They swam as fast as they could.
Quite a state record, 20:26, the state record for this event. He really flew.
Well, you look at the whole field, there's 4 swimmers that any one of them looked like they could win the race. Lane 2 just got a good reach with his left hand. Luke got a little less with his left. Held on.
Now for the championship finals, the lane seating. And we've got an interesting story in the finals. You see Matt Johnson from Glenbrook, Chris Salisbury from Guilford, Jim Potla from Friend. That's the one we're going to talk about. Chris Dix from Prospect, Mike Stefanski from Stagg, and Ryan Lonergan from Woodruff. And what a story from Fremd, huh?
Jim Patla, he's like one of these kids a coach dreams of. He comes out of nowhere as a freshman. He makes your team, and then all of a sudden he's the #1 seed in the state championships on a team that's already going to win the meet. He's just adding more cream to the group.
He's in lane 3, remember? And he gets off to a pretty good start. Chris Dix from Prospect was right there with him.
Top of your screen, Matt Johnson, first one into the wall. One of the most intense swimmers that you'll ever see. He's going to come back on the fly. He's got a slight lead, very slight lead, and he won it.
Matt Johnson from Glenbrook North gets the win. Chris Salisbury of Rockford comes in second, and the freshman Jim Potla comes in 5th. But again, that's just more points to add to Fremd's title. And let's see him coming down the stretch again.
Matt Johnson got a great start. He was the first one in and out of the wall. He's got a great reach for a short person. His arm stroke is very long, and he finishes strong with a great left reach. Matt is a great swimmer. We're going to see him as one of the 4 competitors to try to win the state championship of the butterfly.
All right, we'll come back and show you the 50 free results and the championship awards right after this.
Up there.
The broadcast rights to today's state championship swimming and diving meet have been granted a sports channel by the Illinois High School Association. Any reproduction or rebroadcast of this event without the written consent of the Illinois High School Association and sports channel is prohibited. And our winner on the way, Matt Johnson from Glenbrook North. Presenting the award is Charles McCarthy, president of the Illinois Swimming Officials Association. By the way, he's also our referee today, so if you want to boo, this would be a good time. And yes, that was my partner up here clapping when he won it, right?
Well, Matt Johnson's real close to my heart. He came through a program that I was involved in for many years. Bud Matthews taken over and has done an outstanding job with Matt over the last 4 years to bring him to this point.
Let's take a look at the results now. Don't clap again, all right, Tim? Matt Johnson gets the win from Glenbrook North. Salisbury second, and you see on down Woodruff. The freshman from Friend, Potluck came in 5th, but boy, you've got to expect great things from him. The kid comes in and finishes 5th in this one, and again gives them some more points. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, it is the diving portion of our show. That's coming up here on the Swimming and Diving Championships on Sports Channel. Time for the diving portion of our state championship now, and Tim Dowling, we've got a couple guys who are well out in front of everybody else.
Matt Whitfield is our present leader. He is also the defending state champion. He's got about a 9.5 point lead over Jason. Our first diver is Kurt Beckering from Stagg High School. He's going to be starting off with the voluntary dive, which almost all of the divers will be doing in this round. A forward dive, 1/2 twist straight.
What did you think?
He had a little bit of an over twist. If you watch it as he's coming around, he's over twisting. He's almost going to turn and face the camera as he enters the water. That got him scores of 3.5 and 4. Our next diver is Ryan Lee. He's also doing a forward dive and a 1/2 twist. This is one of his better dives. Ryan stuck that one right in the water for 5.5, 6.5. As Ryan is going up, he's going to get a great top, great set over the top. Hands locked together, almost no splash. We can see the saves underwater, the judges can't. Great dive.
He had a lot of 6.5s for that dive.
Tony Sibley from Galesburg High School, a forward dive, 1/2 twist. Tony's just glad to be here. He's not sure how his last 3 dives are going to go. He's got to keep his head up on his takeoff.
A lot of 5s, 5.5s, and a 4.5 in there as well.
Hey, nice dive. You got it up off the board, head in place. Got a pretty good entry. A little heavy, though, on the judges. They didn't like it. Corey Weaver, Libertyville, back dive, pike. Corey needs to stay in on the board, keep his chest in line, and reach straight up in order to drive this ball, dive into the water.
He's currently in 8th position as we get rolling. And he didn't really hit that one, did he?
No, as you can see, the judges didn't like it too much. 4.5s and 5s. As he starts, he's leaning backwards with his head in his chest, so he's way out, far from the board. You want to stay within the first 3 to 4 feet.
Well, this guy ought to show us that. Matt Whitfield from Glenbrook South, our current leader.
A forward dive pike. One of Matt's strengths is his height. He gets up very high off the board and has plenty of time to drop in the water.
And a nice ovation from the crowd as well. And a 9 up on the board.
Well, as you can see, the judges liked it. Matt got up very well. He's got a great press, arms over the top. He did travel out a little bit, but his entry was just beautiful. Toe point, straight down to the bottom. Kevin Duda is a freshman. He's doing a forward dive, 1/2 twist. He needs to really take his time and ride the board. He's very light, so he's got to wait for the board.
Pretty nice dive.
Very nice dive. He got it up very well.
And a lot of 5s, a 6, 5.5, 4.5.
He almost missed the board on his takeoff. It looks like his toes were even over the edge. Gets up, looks down his arm, arms together, great entry.
We now move to further action here in the 3rd round of the State Diving Championship.
1/2 twist. His takeoffs are usually his advantage. He's been having a little problem as he's been leaving the board the last couple practice rounds by breaking at the knees.
And 5s and 6s, couple 5.5s up there, so everybody pretty well agreed here.
The judges liked it. He seemed to get off the board for a little bit of a break, but it was right at the beginning, so the judges didn't bother it.
Well, here's a dive I think everybody's kind of anxious to see.
Yeah, Jason is doing the most difficult dive in the book. A forward 1.5 somersault with 3 twists. 3 twists. I get too dizzy doing 2.
Hey, he did that pretty well.
He did an excellent dive.
6.5 up there.
He was up high. He got some great tight twisting action. He waited for the board. He knew where he was, and he squared out and entered the water. It was a great dive. Not quite enough to catch Matt, but a great dive. Nathan Bablik doing a forward dive, 1/2 twist straight. He's doing his voluntary dive last.
And it looked like he wanted to stay down there for a while. He just didn't quite hit that.
No, Nate has a tendency to stall at the top, and maybe that's why it's his 11th dive. When he comes off, he doesn't quite get his hips up over the top, so he stalls out right up here, and now he doesn't know what to do, and the only thing he can do is save himself by bending his knees. Kevin Francis from Libertyville, a reverse 1 1/2 somersault, 1.5 twist. It's a very good dive for Kevin.
Man, he hit that pretty well.
He hit that dive great. He kept his head in, and the body went with.
7's up there, some 6.5.
At first, I thought he was going to cut it off, but he kept his head in line. He got a great height off the board, spotted, and squared it in. Andrew Wicklander is doing a forward 2 somersaults in the pike position.
Forward 2 somersaults pike.
Andrew, in order for this dive to work for Andy, he's got to make sure he doesn't cut it off. If he cuts it off, he's going to be too low, and he'll end up hitting the water before he has a chance to come out. Okay, Andy stayed with it. He was a little bit slow on his somersault, and he didn't quite have the tuck or the pike as tight as he would like. But he's up. He almost made it perfect. Little twisting on the entry. Our final diver, Joel Chandler, he's doing a forward 2 somersault pike. Joel has difficulty in this one. He doesn't normally get around fast enough. Very good.
Nice finish.
Joel did a great finish.
7's up there, 6.5, 6.
Joel got through this very well. Much tighter pike, snapped out of it, held his position right to the bottom.
All right, we'll come back and give you the awards for the diving championships here in Evanston coming up in just a minute. Here's your diving winner, Matt Whitfield from Glenbrook South. 486.2 points is almost 20 points more than anyone else. And Mark Antonoff, head diving coach at Downers Grove South, also on the IHSA advisory committee, presents the award. Boy, that's a strong finish for Whitfield.
Matt's a strong kid. Matt's also an all-conference middle linebacker on the high school football team, so he does more than just dive.
But he can dive.
He can dive. As you can see, he's very deliberate. Great press as he holds himself up, takes off. Great twisting, spots. Little over twisting on that last dive, but with a 20-point margin, didn't hurt him.
All right, here are the results. There you see Whitfield in first. Jason Minner, Ryan Lee, Kevin Francis, Joel Chandler from Guilford, and Andrew Wicklander, the top 6. And the crowd starts to make a little bit of noise because now we've got the 100-yard butterfly. This is event number 6, the consolation finals, as we are back to swimming. Here's your lane assignments now. Tim Keeley from Fenwick is in lane number 1. Todd Laird, Matt Garrison, Mike Miller, Dan Gutkin, and Ben Culver from 1 till 6. And who do you like here?
Well, I guess I'm going to go on a limb and look at Ben Culver from Elgin. He's a distance swimmer. He's strong. It's such a close field that whoever gets off the blocks is probably going to win it. So I can be wrong, but
Take your mark.
And a very even start.
yeah, they should stay pretty even, at least through the first turn. Lane 1, Tim Keeley from Fenwick. He's moving out a little bit on the field, but not much. Coming off the wall. Very important that when they come off the wall, they try to stay down underneath, because the waves that are coming in on top of them can cause them to slow down.
Matt Garrison, the freshman in lane 3, coming very strong in that one.
Lane 5, Dan Gutkin from Stevenson. Came off the wall pretty well. They all look pretty strong, but Matt Garrison seems to be hanging in there. They almost all turn together, except lane 6.
Nice call,
But
huh?
he's coming on.
Ben
I
will
like
come
him.
on.
I like Ben.
Matt Garrison, the freshman, almost neck and neck with Todd Laird in lane 2, and the winner is Matt Garrison from East Peoria with a time of 52.52. There you see the scores. Todd Laird, right, look at that, 1/100th of a second behind him.
They came off the wall, and Matt had a much larger lead than I thought he was going to give up. And Todd Laird, freshman out of Conant, almost caught him just that last stretch, 1/100th. What a great race.
So freshman comes in 1-2, or actually 7-8. The consolation event of the 100 butterfly. Now the championship, the 100-yard butterfly. Eric O'Donnell, Tucker Shade, Wes Rudin, Matt Johnson, Steve Muse, and Brian Brinkley. And this ought to be a very, very tight race.
Well, there's a lot of races you just like to sit back and watch. There are 4 swimmers that not only can win this event, but they're going to have to probably set the state record, because the other guys are going to be right there.
To let you know, state record 49.99. Rudin. So I have a 50.49 in the prelims.
Take your mark.
Yesterday, Steve Munns had a terrible start, was the last one in the water, and he still came through with a great time. Matt Johnson in lane 4 has got to be my sentimental favorite. Got off the first one through the turn. State champion in the 50.
And right now Johnson with a slight lead. See how they come out of the turn.
Matt was the first one to the wall, little deep coming off. Steve Munns did try to catch him. Matt was 7th in this last year, and Steve Munns was 5th. Going into the turn, lane number 2, Tucker Shade has caught them, and now we come to the final.
Tucker Shade taking the lead. And as they reach for the wall, the winner is Tucker Shade.
Tucker Shade.
Steve Munns comes in 2nd from St. Charles. And Matt Johnson in lane 4 comes in 3rd.
They all swam a great race. Tucker Shade he was in 4th place at the 50 and came back to win it.
Shade comes in with a time of 50.22, so not quite the state record, but not far from it. Let's see the finish again, Tim.
Yeah, Tucker, his kick just kept driving him forward, and it looked like that nobody was going to catch him. Steve Munns appeared to get real close at the end, but 0.2 of a second is a lot.
Wow, what a finish in the 100 butterfly. Well, we'll come back and give you the awards for that. There's Tucker Shade. The awards are coming up. And after that, the 100 free, another sprint. Up next here on Sports Channel. Back here at the state finals, the 100-yard butterfly champion Tucker Shade from Decatur MacArthur. Diane Berry is presenting the award. She's the aquatics director here at Evanston Township High School and the meet director for the state championship. Tucker Shade wins the 100-yard butterfly. Let's take a look at the results now. First place, you see Shade, then Steve Munns, boy, right there behind him. Johnson, Matt Johnson comes in third. Eric O'Donnell, Ryan Brinkley, and Wes Rudin. And we are ready for a sprint, the 100-yard freestyle. This is the consolation finals. You see the state record, 44.47. That probably won't even come close to being challenged. But here in the consolation final, Steve Ryan. You see the rest of the swimmers, Niles West, Stagg, Deerfield, Hinsdale Central, and Mike Lynch from Fenwick. And one thing to say, we'll look ahead to the championship finals. There's a swimmer from Friend in the championship round, I believe, of just about every race as we go down the stretch here.
Well, we should see a lot of points coming in here. Mike Lynch from Fenwick is trying to bring his team into that second place trophy. So we're going to need a good race out of lane number 6. Also next to him in lane 5, Cam Corden from Hinsdale Central.
Mr. Starter. Take your mark.
And a good start, and this is just a flat sprint, isn't it, Tim?
This is just 4 lengths as hard as you can go. Kids barely have a time to really get going, to get tired. It's just move the arms, move the legs. You're going to see a lot of movement. John Kajowski from Niles West, he won his consolation heat in the 200 earlier today, or excuse me, in the 50 earlier today. So he is a great sprinter. Lane 5, Cam Corden. This is his first event today. He's right in there on the turn, just slightly behind. Lane 6, Mike Lynch. He's hanging in. In fact, it looks like he's starting to pull up. It's going to be a photo finish, but it looks like John from Niles West in lane 2.
Kamowitz reaches, and he gets the win. And in second place is Mike Lynch from Fenwick. Third place belongs to Mike Stefanski from Stagg High School.
Those are big points.
Let's see him coming down the stretch here one more time, Tim.
Okay, John, when he came off the wall, he really started to open up a lead. In lane 6, Mike Lynch looked like he might have a chance at him, but John just kept kicking hard, and his right arm coming over the top for the finish. Obvious winner.
Well, here's a race that people have been talking about for a while, the 100 free championship. Darren Barr from Byron, the Co-op High School there. Ryan Kehoe. Stocky Chiligaris, you heard his name before. Bill Gillespie, Duke Shin, Chris Salisbury. This ought to be an interesting race.
Now, Kostaki took it easy yesterday again. He went out easy and he came back on his second 50. He's the first opportunity for a double state champion.
Mr. Starter. Take your mark.
Bill Gillespie in lane number 4. He was a state runner-up last year in this event, so I'm sure he's not going to give up that position too easily. Duke Shin down in lane 5. He had a great first 100 on his 200 earlier today. Kostaki again, he took the first 50 easy and came back, but it doesn't look like he's taking this too easy.
He's in the lead right now. And if he gets a good kick, he's in a pretty good lead as well.
Yeah, if he comes off this turn as he just did solid, he probably will not be caught. Now it's a matter of who's going to come in second.
Bill Gillespie fighting for that. And it looks like Gillespie may get it. Here's the touch.
And Duke Shin from Frem getting third.
So it's Chiligaris, Gillespie, and Duke Shin. And Chiligaris, the last 25, there he is with 2 state champions. You got it, buddy.
Yep.
The last 25, he just sprinted home, Tim.
He came back over a second faster from yesterday. He went out, nice smooth pace again, had a slight lead, but he's just so strong. He trains distance. He trains the 500 and the 1,000, so this 100 is nothing for him. This is a warm-up. Look, he's almost got a full body length lead on him. He's not quite in the Brian Kurza category yet. Another second maybe, but he certainly was the class of the field today.
All right, he gets the win. We'll come back and show you the award ceremony for that. And then our long event, the 500 free, coming up. And our winner for the 100-yard freestyle event. His second state title. Kostaki Chiligaris from Decatur. Presenting the award is James McCormick, principal of Richwoods High School in Peoria, also a member of the Swimming Advisory Committee. And congratulations to Kostaki Chiligaris. What a great finish for him, and you see the results now. Bill Gillespie came in second, Duke Shin third, Ryan Kehoe, Darren Barr, and Chris Salisbury finish out the top 6. All right, now we got one of our distance events. In fact, this is the long distance event, the 500-yard freestyle, 10 lengths of the pool, back and forth, and
Well, actually, it's 10 laps, 20 lengths.
okay, call it 10 laps, whatever you want to call it.
Swimmers go by lengths. They can't handle laps. They get lost.
I guess I'm a basketball player. What can I say? 10 times back and forth. Here we go. This is our consolation final. Aurora, Greg Bussey's in lane 1. Clint Anderson of Rock Island in 2. Brian Fulling from Rantoul in 3. Dan Sherwin from Roselle. Lake Park High is in lane 4. Chris Ferris, Naperville Central in 5. And Todd Keepin from Naperville North in lane 6.
Well, this is going to be a preview of our championship heat because these swimmers are all so closely bunched that we're going to see a little bit of jockeying back and forth. You hate to call it a hare and a tortoise type of thing, but they're going to play around with each other a little bit. One might go out a little faster and then ease up a little bit and see who's got the speed at the end. They'll all try to stay within a body length of each other if they want to contend for the championship at the end.
Greg Bussey, a freshman from Waubonsie Valley in lane number 1, got the early lead. Boy, it's nice to see the freshmen come out here. Todd Capin's a freshman as well. He's in lane 6 from Naperville North.
Illinois is a very good swimming state, and freshmen keep coming in. It's just going to make it better every year.
And that's him with the turn right there, and he's got a little lead, but guess what? The other freshman, Todd Capin, has just about caught him now.
Yep. Lane 6 is going to stay right with him all the way through. Well, while these kids are swimming, we've got just a couple little announcements, not to try to kill time, but yesterday during the prelims, as most of the fans that were here at the meet, they saw a little incident before the start of the meet. One of our spectators had a heart attack. We'd like to report that the gentleman is doing fine. The family would like to thank all of the fans for their cooperation. Thank the EMT from Evanston as well as the Evanston Township High School medical staff for what they did to help their husband and father. The gentleman is doing fine and wants to thank everybody for their support.
Well, it's still lanes 1 and 6 right now. Dan Sherwin of Roselle in lane number 4 is caught up a little bit.
Todd Capin has gotten just a little bit of a lead, but as you say, Dan Sherwin, he stayed with them. The counters sometimes will be telling their swimmers where they are in relation to other swimmers. Sometimes the counters will move the counters up and down real fast. They'll put them on the left side if they need them to watch a certain swimmer on one side of the pool or the right side of the other. These swimmers can all count to 20, I think. They don't really need those counters. They use them more to find out where they are in relation to others.
Counters at the end of the pool that you're going to see just about now. You'll see him standing right there. That's the guys we're talking about. See him pulling out the number 11.
Brian Fulling from Rantoul. The last 50, he's made a little bit of a move. We're coming up on the 300-yard mark, and he's moved into a slight lead.
But again, a lot of race to go, right?
A lot of race. Another 8 lengths. There will be a gun set off with about 2 lengths and 5 yards to go. This, we as coaches say it's more for the officials to wake them up so they get ready to get the finish. But again, this is so the swimmers know that they're near the end.
And Brian Fulling has pulled out to a little lead here. But the rest of the pack just about dead even as they come off.
Yeah, Clint Anderson in lane 2, right up next to the lane. I don't know if he's trying to get a little drafting off of Brian or he's just swimming circles. He's starting to put a little bit of a kick on. A lot of times these swimmers know each other so well by competing all year, and a lot of them in the off season with their clubs, that they know some of the tendencies.
Boy, those two are just about neck and neck right now. Chris Ferris from Naperville Central in lane 5 is in 3rd position.
Well, it looks like Clint Anderson has figured out that Brian only breathes to his right. So when they are swimming towards the shallow end of the pool, he puts on a big kick because Brian doesn't see him. And now he's moved into a slight lead. The last 50 yards, Brian is starting to put on a little bit of a charge of his own. Good kick. The guy who comes out of this turn with the strong leg kick is going to probably win it. Brian had the kick. Let's see what happens at the end.
Fulling with a slight lead in 3. Clint Anderson from Rock Island is in lane 2 right next to him. That's how they'll finish. And in lane 5, Chris Ferris comes in 3rd. He's from Naperville Central. And the two knew just where they were.
But I mean, the times they swam are fantastic. 4:41s, great swims compared to yesterday.
Here's the finish again. Boy, they were neck and neck there for a while.
Brian came out of that turn with a real strong kick, got him up on top of the water, sort of hydroplaning, gets himself going a little bit easier. Good, strong finish. Just a stroke, but that's all he needed.
And the crowd is already cheering for Tyler Holcomb, the senior from Frem. He'll be in there in lane 2. Aaron Groves from Richwoods, Frank Leo, Bill Bishop, Keith Bewick, and Ben Culver. Holcomb didn't even come close, really. It was Frank Leo and Bill Bishop who put in the good times.
Yeah,
in lanes 3 and 4.
Yesterday in the prelims, Tyler and Frank swam in the same heat, and they stayed neck and neck for over 400 yards. And then Tyler just seemed to ease up, knowing he was going to make it into the finals.
Mr. Starter. Take your mark.
And a stand-up call. And he wants them to get down now. What's up?
Somebody might have been moving and disrupted. There might be noise in the warm-up pool. So the official likes to make sure everybody has an even chance to get off the blocks. They don't want any mistakes.
He's called them back up onto the blocks, and here they come. The 500-yard freestyle championship final.
Mr. Starter. Take your mark.
Well, all 6 of these swimmers were entered in this event last year. Tyler Holcomb finished 2nd, Frank Leo 10th, and Keith Bewick finished 4th. They're all experienced. They all love the long distance races.
Now let me ask you this: as they work this long distance, is there some cat and mouse going on in the early couple, trying to get somebody to expend a little energy that they don't want to?
Right now, I think each one of them knows exactly what they want to do. They've got their pace down, and I think that's what happened yesterday with Tyler Holcomb. His splits were exactly identical to Frank Leo's for the first 400 yards. And then Tyler just eased up a little bit. I think we're going to see Tyler maybe do a little bit different. After 300 yards, start to take it out a little bit harder, because I think he's a stronger swimmer than the other 3.
He's got the lead right now. Frank Leo right next to him from Brother Rice in lane 3.
They're out at a much slower pace than yesterday, almost a second and a half slower, and that could lead into Tyler's good side, because he is much stronger at the end.
Aaron Groves in lane 1 from Peoria Richwoods making a little move now, but also Bill Bishop, Keith Bewick right there.
They're all within 0.7 of a second, which is what you'd expect. That's what they were yesterday. So they're swimming a very steady pace. Looks like Keith Bewick in lane number 5 is starting to make a little bit of a move. They were about 148, 149 yesterday, and they're still in that same area. So they're slowing it down a little bit. By watching their strokes, Tyler looks so much smoother. Nice and long, easy stroke.
He doesn't look like he's working all that hard when you know he is.
Yeah, he's got a great stroke. He's breathing on a regular basis. Keith Bewick on the bottom side is turning over a lot faster, shorter stroke, spending a lot more energy. Frank Leo hanging back. He knows he was the top finalist coming in today. He was 10th last year. Maybe he's just hanging in there, see what he can do. Tyler seems to get him on every turn, though. Gets a much better push off. Frank's got to work that much harder to catch him on the lane.
Well, Bewick may be taking the lead right now from Stevenson High School. He's out just a little bit ahead of Tyler Holcomb.
And he's about a second ahead of where he was yesterday. Tyler's at the same time. And as I said, Tyler swam 400 yards nice, and then he eased up. So Tyler looks like he's right on his pace. I think with this next turn, we should see Tyler start to pick up his pace.
You know what's great is to see the fans waving the piece of paper saying, go faster, go fast. These guys never see those people,
No,
do they?
And they're going as fast as they can. They don't care about They can't see people. They can hear noise, but they really don't know what people are saying.
The real key is the guys holding down the numbers at the end of the pool that you see coming up right now.
Right.
Oh, and a bad turn.
Tyler just opened up almost a body length on Frank. He's starting to pick up his tempo a little bit. He's got 6 lengths to go.
And Bill Bishop, really the sophomore from Barrington, the one that's with him now.
Right. I think we're down to a 2-man race now, but Tyler is moving very strong. He's got 3 lengths to go. He's attacking his turns.
And he is really swimming strong. That's your 2 leaders right there.
He's going to get his gun lap right here, so he knows he only has 50 yards to go.
Makes the turn, and he is way out in front now.
He's got about a 10 or 12 foot lead, very difficult to catch.
And now he's starting to sprint.
And the last length, the counters, they put in orange numbers. This is so the swimmers can see that they've only got 1 length left to go. Here comes Tyler.
All by himself. Frank Leo will finish 3rd, it looks like. Bill Bishop touches 2nd, Leo 3rd, and Tyler Holcomb, the senior from Frem, is your state champion in the 500-yard freestyle event. There's the results. 4:33.33. State record 4:25.54. An incredible race, but Holcomb gets the win.
Well, as you can see, Tyler went a 4:33 today. He swam a nice, easy 4:39 yesterday. So he knew what he needed to do to make the finals.
See where he took the lead for good right here.
He just had the gun lap going in. He's got 50 yards to go. He's got a body and a half length lead. He's got a very strong kick. You can see the field spreading out behind him with Bill Bishop, the only one within sight of him.
Oh, what a finish. Tyler Holcomb just goes away from the field. All right, when we come back, we'll show you Tyler getting his medal and the 200-yard freestyle relay, an exciting event, up next here on Sports Channel. Sports Channel will be replaying all the IHSA boys basketball coverage coming up tonight at 11:30. It's the Class 2A boys semifinal. Right now here in Evanston. Well, what a finish for this guy. Our winner, Tyler Holcomb, for the 500-yard freestyle. Holcomb goes off, gets another medal. He's going to be busy the rest of the day, too. Let's see the results here. Holcomb from Friend, 4:33.33. Bill Bishop, 4:35.61. Frank Leo came in 3rd from Brother Rice. Then it's Keith Bewick, Aaron Groves, and Ben Culver rounding out the top 6. Coming up next, 200-yard freestyle relay, and Holcomb's in that one as well. Stick around. All right, before we go to the 200 free relay, Tim Dowling, you and I were talking about Fremd being #1 and almost impossible to catch, but how about the race for second, Fenwick and Hinsdale Central? Hinsdale looked like the team to beat for second coming in.
Well, they still aren't out of it yet. I mean, they're down 16 points. They do have a free relay at the end that Fenwick does not, but these next two races are going to be critical. Hinsdale Central has to be at least even or beat Fenwick in this 200 free relay.
And that's where we are right now. The 200-yard freestyle relay. You see the state record 125.80. And we may have a team that can do that in the championship finals. But the consolation heat. Here's Palatine in lane 1. Waubonsie Valley 2. Naperville North 3. Stag in 4. Naperville Central in 5. And Homewood Flossmoor in 6th. And boy, as you look down the times, Naperville North a little bit better than everybody else, but not by a whole lot.
Now this is going to be interesting because you've got 4 kids that are all basically state qualifiers in the 50-yard freestyle event. So each team is going to be flying. The takeoffs are critical. We lost a few teams yesterday when the swimmer going out left before the swimmer coming in touched. They can be stretched out but must maintain contact with the blocks.
Mr. Starter. Take your mark.
And this is just a down and back sprint as hard as you can.
As hard as you can. The swimmers standing on the blocks, they start to get ready as soon as they get to the turn. We're only talking 20 seconds. You can see when they come down, the officials will be staring at the toes and the hands of the swimmers. The toes of the person on the block, the hands of the swimmer coming in to make sure that nobody leaves early. Our second swimmers in the water, Brian Kelly for Naperville North, slight lead over Paul Grisback from Palatine in lane number 1.
And it's 3 and 1 right now. Waubonsie Valley right in there. Naperville Central has made a strong move.
Todd Ramsbottom from Naperville North in lane number 3. You'll see him in the finals of the backstroke in about 5 minutes, giving Naperville North a slight lead over lane number 5, Steve Schmidt.
Waubonsie Valley, Palatine High School, very close.
And they all hit the water. Now you just hope that your swimmer doesn't miss his turn. Little tight in lane 3 for Naperville. That's Vince Kuna, but it looks good for him. Lane 2, Chris Miser trying to catch up.
And it is lane 3, Naperville North first, Aurora Waubonsie Valley second, and Naperville Central finishes in 3rd. There's the board. Without the diving boards in the way, you can see it all now.
Okay, Naperville North opened up the lead with Todd Ramsbottom. You can see Chris Miser from Waubonsie Valley trying to catch on. At the bottom of the screen, we've got 3 teams fighting for the position.
Okay, here it comes, the 200 free relay, event number 9, Hinsdale Central in lane 1. Remember, it's a battle for second. Fenwick in 2, Fremd in 3, Guilford, Freeport, and Loyola Wilmette in lane 6.
Well, Fremd is looking at going for the state record. The question is, do they want to take that much of a chance and blow a 32-point score? Hinsdale Central and Fenwick, they're fighting for the second place team trophy.
Mr. Starter. Take your mark.
Fremd in lane 3, Fenwick in 2, Hinsdale Central in lane 1.
Matt Barnett for Hinsdale Central leading it off. He's a state qualifier in another event. Tim Kelly from Fenwick in lane 2. Duke Shin, we just saw him in the 100. He's in lane number 3. Vince Allegra for Hinsdale Central in lane number 1. And Mark Kachowski from Fremd in lane number 3.
And boy, they are almost neck and neck.
Loyola Academy, Mike Kennedy in lane 6, putting on a little bit of a surge. But Fremd appears to be opening up a lead.
They're looking up at the clock. The Frem swimmers are trying to see if they can do it.
Well, they're 3/10 ahead of yesterday, and they missed the record by 1/10. Brian Brinkley in the lead. Followed Brian Bateman for Hinsdale Central. And in the water, Mike Lynch finishing. Steve Von Glukite from Fenwick is going to start challenging Tyler Holcomb in lane 3.
Here it comes to the end. Holcomb in first.
The state record of 125.80 is gone.
A new state record for Palatine Frem. 125.8. They realize it. 125.61. They win the race. They set a new state record. And in the race for, well, let's take a look real quick at the end of the race, then we'll talk about the race for second.
Boy, Tyler just walked away, but Fenwick and Hinsdale Central, they're fighting for that second place trophy. You've got Steve Von Glukite and Cam Corden just fighting it off. They both improved on their seeds. Fenwick by 1 place, Hinsdale Central by 2.
All right, a state record here in Evanston. We'll come back and give them their awards and also take a look ahead to the 100 backstroke coming up. And the winners of the 200-yard freestyle relay, a state record performance for Palatine Friend High School, and they get a great round of applause here from the fans at Evanston High School. I walk over and everybody wants to shake their hands. That's something that they do anyway, but I tell you what, you set a state record, you've really accomplished something. Art Edstrom, boys swimming coach at Deerfield High School, serves on the Swimming Advisory Committee, also current president of the Illinois Swimming Association, presents the awards. A state record is something I think everybody can talk about for a long, long time, Tim.
Well, not only that, what they've done to accomplish it. They're trying to win a state championship, and they're going to try to prove that they deserve it because they're a great team, not just because they had a lot of points. Tyler Holcomb has now got 2 first-place medals. He's got a state record, second-place medal, and he's going to come back in about 3 more events and try for another one.
You saw the shirt, the Mission State 1994. They're well on their way. You see the state record, 125.61. Fenwick came in second, so they widened the gap just a little bit for second place. Hinsdale Central third. Guilford, Freeport, and Loyola Wilmette round out the top 6. Now we're going to go to a little different event. The 100-yard backstroke. You see the state record, 50.14. That one shouldn't be challenged. It'd be a surprise if it is.
Yeah, that's an old record, 1982. Tom Jager from Collinsville.
Here's the lanes. Hinsdale Central, Whitney Young, Hinsdale Central again, so they got a chance to pick up some points. Ottawa, Chicago Latin, and Stevenson round out the 6.
Mr. Starter. Take your mark.
This is a very important race for Hinsdale Central. Ryan Bateman, Chris Bateman. They both were in this event last year. They finished 24th and 25th. Hinsdale needs these points.
In case you're wondering, Ryan is a sophomore, Chris is a junior. They're in lanes 1 and 3.
In lane number 5, Zach Spreitzer from the Latin School had a slight lead, but he didn't get into his turn very well. So lane 4, Ryan Nevin. You'll notice the swimmers, when they cross under the backstroke flag, they start to look for a rollover point. Once you roll over, you can't do anything but somersault. So you've got to have pretty good timing. With good timing, you'll have a great turn. Lane number 4, Ryan Nevins. Lane number 1, Brian Bateman. Lane number 3, Chris Bateman.
Boy, those 3 are almost right together. And the winner is in lane 4, Ryan Nevins. Lane 3, Chris Bateman. Lane 1, Brian Bateman. That's how they finish.
Well, that certainly helps Hinsdale. They picks up about 8 more points. They're down by about 18. They close the gap a little bit.
See the finish again.
It looked at first that Brian Bateman up in the top had a chance to win it, but he just didn't quite finish. Lane number 4, Ryan Nevins. He had the longer stretch.
He gets out of the pool excited. And now for the championship finals, the 100-yard backstroke. You'll see a familiar school name. We got a good story. Naperville North, Marmion, St. Charles, Fremd in lane 4, Palatine in 5, and Westmont in 6. In lane 4, it's Jay Glenn. Tim, he's another freshman. Boy, they got some depth, don't they?
Yeah. What'd you say? The freestyler, the 50 freestyler's a freshman. Jay's a freshman. Maybe Fremd is going to start a dynasty of their own.
Wants him to relax a little bit. There's some discussions going on at the official desk. What could they be talking about here?
Your guess is as good as mine. They're looking at the clock to make sure they've got the right times possibly for that last team. Making sure that the officials' pick and the touches were in sync. They'd hate to go into another event and have any problems. Well, this backstroke is going to be an interesting one with Steve Munns, the senior from St. Charles. He was 4th in this event last year. In lane number 5, you have Greg Plank. He's a sophomore from Palatine. He was 2nd last year. But the kid in the middle between them, Jay Glenn, the freshman from Fremd, he's really the fastest kid in the pool. He had the fastest seed coming in. Those 3 should have one heck of a race.
St. Charles fans making some noise. There's a long discussion over there at the table. And it looks like they're looking at the results from the last race and looking up at the board, and you think maybe something doesn't match up.
Well, when you're swimming on your back, you have to touch the wall blind. There's always a chance that a swimmer came in and didn't activate the touchpad. He might have come over the top and hit the wall. And the officials will look at that, and there'll be a discussion as to whether they finished legally or not. So that could be where we're at. That could be a couple tenths of a second, which could change places.
And they're talking now to an official down at the bottom. Seems like everything's set. And they send him into the water to get loosened up again. Now we're set. Jay Glenn is in lane 4. Steve Munns from St. Charles in lane 3 have the 2 fastest times.
They all got off pretty well. Steve was a little deep, but got a pretty good kick. It's almost like the upperclassmen against the upstarts. Lanes 1, 2, and 3 are seniors. 4, 5, and 6 are freshmen and sophomores. Lane number 4, Jay Glenn, looks like he's opened up a hair of a lead.
He's got the dark cap right there in the middle. Be the easiest way to tell him in lane 4.
What you find with this flying turn, if they turn a little early, they don't get a very good push off. So as the swimmers are coming in, they try to make sure they don't come up too short. He's still just a little short. Steve Munns looks like he's opening up a little bit of a lead. Glenn is fighting back. It's going to come down to the touch.
They're neck and neck as they go to the wall. And the winner is the freshman, Jay Glenn from Fremd. Oh, now they put up the tie. Both at 52.06.
It looked like Jay touched, but it came out as a tie.
Boy, it did to me. As he reached out, it looked like he got there first. I've got to be honest. That's why I said he won, because when he reached out, he looked to win it. How about a freshman, though, huh?
A freshman tying for the state championship, and a sophomore right next to him. But I think you're right, Tom. As they were coming in, it certainly looked like Jay was going to touch first. He looked like he'd move into a slight lead. Steve must just have a slightly longer arm on this next reach. I don't know. Aren't you glad we have electronic timing?
All right, we'll come back, show you the championship presentation, and also take a look ahead to our next event, the breaststroke. Up next on Sports Channel. How can you see a Blackhawks game in Montreal? How about seats for Blackhawks opening night at the new United Center, or dinner and a golf lesson from Dale Talon at his club? There are 9 other dream reasons to enter the Budweiser Dream Sweepstakes. Pick up an entry form at participating Bud retailers and watch and listen to Hawk games on Sports Channel and WMVP for more details. There you see the championships. And the freshman Jay Glenn in a tie for the championship with Steve Munns from St. Charles. Quite a finish. Show the results here. See Munns and Glenn both at 52.06. Greg Plank, then it's Mark Burke, Steve Seiler, and Todd Ramsbottom.
Well, with that win, I think you can just about lock up Friends State Championship. Nobody's going to touch them now.
Then you start to wonder what's the record for state championship difference points-wise, because they are going to walk away with this. All right, how about the 100-yard breaststroke? See the state record under a minute at 55.56. And there's your lane assignments: Libertyville, Freeport, Naperville Central, Rantoul, Glenbard East, and Naperville North. They wanted lane 5 to move up on the end of the block. And Brad Davis in lane 3 has the fastest qualifying time. Is he the one to beat here?
I would think maybe the Mark Williamson from Rantoul, but it's going to be close. They're all, by their seed time, they are all so close that anything can happen. With the breaststrokers, the key is always coming off the wall. They stay underwater, take a full pull, and then a full kick. And if they glide too long, they're going to get caught and pass. They seem to be touching at about the same time. Mark seems to have a much stronger underwater pull. Brad seems to be able to catch him during the race, the length. Mark looks even. They're even going into the last
Boy,
turn.
they are.
Very tight. Now Mark's got a little lead, but Brad's going to come on. It's a matter of who's going to have it at the end.
Brad Davis in 3, Williamson in 4.
It's going to be the timing of the stroke. And, I thought we had another tie.
Brad Davis gets the win. 1 minute 51. Look at that. And in Mark Williamson, 2/100ths of a second slower.
But they came back, and they're both trying to time their strokes. The objective is to try to finish with a full extension of the arms and a strong kick. That way you're as long as you can possibly be. Right here, they're both trying to get it in, and it looked like it was a tie. Brad obviously got the pad first.
Now our championship finals, the 100-yard breaststroke. State record, 55.56. Morton, Hinsdale Central, Fenwick, University, MacArthur, and Naperville North. The lane assignments, and here we go.
Well, Steve Von Glukite has got to be the odds-on favorite.
Big time here, right?
Yeah, he swam away from the field yesterday. He's so pumped up after winning the IEM. He's got a chance to win another individual title.
He's in lane 3 right now. His time almost 2 seconds faster than everyone else.
Very strong on the underwater. His strength, though, I believe, is really his turns. See if he can pull away from the crowd.
Gets a nice turn.
Matt Barnett, Hinsdale Central. He's motivated because this is team points. This is a trophy race.
Boy, they are stroke for stroke. A little bit better off the turn for Von Glukite, but not much, Tim.
No. But Steve gets his transition from the underwater to the first stroke. Seems so much more fluid.
Oh, and he gets a nice turn that time, and Barnett really didn't.
Barnett didn't, and Ryan Ruddy in lane number 4 seems to have taken over second place. Steve is looking very strong. We're not going to see a state record, but we should see another state championship.
57.85 the time for Steve Von Glukite of Fenwick High School. 57:85. There you see the times. And Ryan Ruddy comes in second, and Mark Barnett from Hinsdale Central comes in third. So they get some points in third, and here they go into the last turn. What's the difference here, Tim?
Well, once he touches, he's getting a slight breath of air, getting underwater. He's holding his streamline for about 15 feet, or the flags. Strong underwater pull. You've got to be very strong in the upper body in order to get through the water this way. Then he's got his kick.
And he did kick and get the win. All right, we'll come back, show you the winner for the 100 breaststroke, and get our final event of the day, the 400 free relay, all coming up here on Sports Channel. And back here at Evanston High School, the 100-yard breaststroke champion being crowned, Steve Von Glukite. From Fenwick High School. Von Glukite, I tell you what, he really had a nice finish and goes on to get the win, and he's very excited.
He's excited. He's just completed his 4-year career at Fenwick High School. Did a great 4 years.
All right, let's see the results now. Von Glukite, again from Fenwick, 57:85. Then Ryan Ruddy, Matt Barnett, Drew Shepardson, Chad Morris, and Trey Cook. And we are ready for our final race of the day, the 400-yard freestyle relay. And the consolation finals. Just about ready to go. Lane assignments: Waubonsie Valley, Marmion, Freeport Senior, Palatine, Lake Forest, and Barrington.
Mr. Starter, take your mark.
Okay, leading off for Waubonsie Valley in lane number 1 is Chris Smizer. In lane number 2 for Marmion is Brian Cothy. Lane number 3 Freeport is Brian Witten. Lane 4 for Palatine is Kirk Larson. Lane 5 Lake Forest is Matt Brelich. And in lane number 6 from Barrington is Mark Lacasse.
400 free.
Lane number 1, Chris Smizer from Waubonsie Valley, is starting to give his team a little bit of a lead, but this is 16 lengths of the pool, so it's a long race. Every team has one weak link, so you try to hold off by swimming your other 3 very strong.
You mean in this race or in just about every one of these?
Well, just in this race. In the water for Waubonsie Valley is Greg Bussey. For Marmion is Pat Emmons in 2. In lane number 3 is Mark Rotbolt from Freeport. Lane 4 is Todd Dennison from Palatine. In lane 5, Alex Hoffman, Lake Forest. And in lane 6, Bill Bishop from Barrington.
Waubonsie Valley right now in a little bit of a lead. Marmion there with him. You said a weak link. Where would you put a weak link? And not to put a kid down, but somebody who doesn't do very well in this particular event.
Well, a lot of coaches like to put their weak link third because they set off their second fastest swimmer first. I personally like to put my weak link last. I like to put the pressure on them. Put up or shut up, I guess.
Waubonsie Valley and Marmion almost neck and neck.
In the water for Waubonsie Valley is Brian Cox. Mark Burke is in the water for Marmion. In lane number 3 for Freeport, we have Derek Rashid. Palatine is Scott Newby in lane 4. In Lake Forest in lane 5 is Mark Landowski. And in lane 6 for Barrington is Elliot LeFly.
And it is Waubonsie Valley and Marmion who are well out in front of everybody else.
It doesn't look like they had a weak link yet. And they're both finishing with strong swimmers. Brad Artis in lane number 1 for Waubonsie Valley, and Jeff Hicks in lane number 2 for Marmion, almost together. In lane number 3 for Freeport, we have Mike Miller. In lane number 4 for Palatine, Greg Plank. Lane number 5 for Lake Forest is Mike Dreltich. And in lane number 6 for Barrington, Jeff Faber.
Marmion in the lead right now. Makes the turn and gets a nice turn as well.
Jeff Hicks is opening up a little bit of a lead. Lane 5, Lake Forest is starting to make a little bit of a move. But it doesn't look like they're going to catch Jeff Hicks.
Comes out of the turn with a very strong move. Lane 4 now, Palatine with a move, trying to come in second, and they may do it.
They do. Greg Plank brings him back for second.
So lane 2, Marmion with the win. Second place is lane 4, Palatine, and in third, Wabanzi Valley of Aurora.
That's why it takes 4 swimmers. Wabanzi Valley led for 3 and ended up in third. It takes all 4 swimmers to win this race. And the finish, and you can see that Jeff Hicks is opening up a lead. Greg Plank in lane number 4 coming on. He needed a couple more yards and he might have caught him.
All right, you ready for the 400 free relay finals? In lane number 1, Rockford Guilford, Hinsdale Central, remember that in lane 2, Fremd in 3, Richwoods in 4, St. Charles in 5, and Loyola Wilmette in 6. Hinsdale Central in lane 2, you say is in pretty good shape for second place, Tim.
Right. Matt Barnett in the breaststroke just gave Hinsdale Central all the breathing room they need. If Hinsdale Central finishes 6th, which is the worst they could do without disqualifying, they win the second place trophy. I'm sure they're not going to sit on their hands the whole race, but they're not going to take any chances.
All they want's a good start here. Fremd, an almost overwhelming favorite in lane 3.
In lane number 1 for Rockford is Jeff Augustine. In lane 2 for Hinsdale, Vince Allegra. In lane 3, we have Duke Shin. In lane 4 for Richwoods, Bob Springsteen. In lane 5 for St. Charles, Michael Rabanus. And in lane 6 for Loyola Academy, Mike Kennedy.
Right now, lane 2, Hinsdale Central in the lead.
Vince Allegra is one of the premier sprinters in the state, and he's only a sophomore. He's getting him off to a pretty good lead. Duke Shin is not going to let him get too far ahead, though.
2 and 3, neck and neck as they come into touch.
In the water for Rockford Guilford is Shane Phillips. For Hinsdale Central, Edward Grosser. Lane 3, Fremd is Mark Kajowski. And lane 4 for Richwoods is Chuck Longenecker. Lane 5, St. Charles, Chad Stone. And in lane 6, Loyola, Ryan Kehoe. As you saw in the start, Ed Grossery, he sat on the start a little bit, giving Fremd just that little extra that he now has.
Fremd with the lead, starts to open it up just a little bit over Hinsdale Central.
Ryan Brinkley from Fremd is in the water, and Brian Bateman from Hinsdale Central is starting to chase him. In lane 4, Aaron Grove for Peoria. In lane 5, Gavin Anderson for St. Charles. In lane number 1 for Rockford Guilford is Chris Salisbury, and in lane 6, Loyola, Brian Sarball. Ryan Brinkley is opening up a lead, and he's going to give that lead over to Tyler Holcomb. The state record being 3:06:32.
Now they were about 3 seconds off that in their qualifying. Can they challenge a little bit, do you think?
They can do a lot better than they did, but I don't know if they're going to do that. Tyler would have to go about a 43 in order to make the record. Tyler's in the water. Hinsdale Central safely in the water with Cam Corden. In lane 4, Richwoods is Bill Gillespie. In lane number 5 from St. Charles is Steve Munn. In lane 1, Luke Carlson for Rockford Guilford. And lane 6, Loyola Academy, Mike Kennedy.
Made the turn at 2:43.
He can't make the record.
Okay.
he can't make the record. They'll probably go about it 3:08, 3:09 though.
Look at this finish. The race for second is very close. Hinsdale Central and Peoria Richwoods, and the race for second is over. Hinsdale Central wins second in this race and in the state championships. But Palatine Frem, what a finish, what a day for them.
Palatine Frem certainly did not back into a championship. They ran out and took it away from everybody.
Their time 3:07.43. Hinsdale Central 3:10.76 and 3:11.12 for Peoria Richwoods. Let's see the finals as he comes in.
I tell you, it'd be really nice to have Tyler Holcomb on the NMI team. He's just such a strong swimmer. 3 state championships, 1 second. Adds a team trophy. Hinsdale Central feeling they need this to get second place, and they do, beating out Richwoods High School, Bill Gillespie in third.
All right, we'll take a break, come back, give you all the final results here from Evanston High School. Boy, what a day it's been. And here are your winners for the 400-yard freestyle relay event. Fremd High School. Boy, these guys, tell you what, that's got to be an awful lot of fun. What a great day, what a great year for them, Tim.
Yeah, they spent a couple of years looking at this. About 2 years ago, everybody thought they'd win the state championship. They didn't swim real well. Last year, Tyler got sick. They finished okay. They definitely were on a legendary mission.
And the results: Fremd with the win. Hinsdale Central comes in second. Richwoods thirds. St. Charles, Loyola Wilmette, and Rockford. And by the way, Tom Howard, the principal of Fremd High School, gave the awards for the 400-meter relays. And here are our final team results. Fremd, Hinsdale Central, and Fenwick, 1, 2, and 3. What a difference between first and second. Not bad between second and third either. And there are the third place finishers coming up right now. You know, you say third place, I tell you what, that's a heck of an accomplishment.
Oh, yes. You know, Steve Von Glucke, he won a couple state championships today. His team gets third place. I'm sure he's happy now. He's won everything. Team championship, individual championships. He had a great 4 years.
There are the fellas. And the congratulations all around.
Please meet the head coach of Fenwick High Schoolboys Swimming and Diving Team, David Perry.
And the head coach comes over. Congratulations, Coach.
Coach David Perry, team members of Fenwick High School.
1994 third place.
Third place trophy.
And there is their trophy. That'll go in the trophy case. They'll find a good spot for that, won't they, Tim?
Well, they're going to have to move a few over, but they'll make room for it.
So Fenwick finishes third. Little delay as they walk back away. And the second place finishers will be up next.
Hinsdale Central.
Hinsdale Central, and a good round of applause for their team. Well deserved. Nice finish for them to come back, because they were in a little trouble for a while, Tim. We talked about it, but they came back and got some big finishes and come up and finish number 2.
Yeah, Hinsdale, they just kept fighting along. They got some points in the backstroke and then the big points in the breaststroke that really made a difference. Took all the pressure off their free relay, gave their relay a chance to just swim and have fun. Bob Sure did a great job this year. A lot of underclassmen. He'll be back next year.
There's the coach with the medal. Ola Bundy there with the presentations. And their second place trophy. Yeah, you bet. Ola Bundy, of course, Assistant Executive Director of the IHSA, staff member in charge of boys swimming and diving. And there are a couple of things that you're going to want to know about the winning team and what they do after they get this trophy, Tim. You ever been thrown in?
Yes, I have. It's a lot of fun.
Here they come, the state champions, Friend High from Palatine.
The team was in charge right from the beginning.
Got some fans trying to take one of the banners, and they didn't make it.
They didn't make it, no.
All right, don't take away from the championship. They won it. Give them their award. A hearty congratulations.
Now, Paul Reef and the swimmers from Friend, they did it in the water, and that's what mattered, not what's going on around. Congratulations to Paul and his team.
They took care of business when they needed to.
And now, please meet the head coach of Palatine Friend High School, Paul Reed.
Here comes the head coach. It's the medal on, and the number 1 goes up. Oh, what a feeling, huh? And there is a valuable prize.
They'll definitely make room for that. Now, the traditional dunking. I hope they move down in the shallow water in case they can't swim.
They bring it over right in front of their fans. Tell you what, these fans have been pretty darn good today.
Yes, they've been very good. They've been quiet at the starts. They've been appreciative of all the races. It was a great meet.
They walk down to the end, and they're going to jump in. All of them want a piece of that thing, and they all deserve it. There they go.
I'm disappointed the principal hasn't gone in yet. Where is Tom Howard?
You get the idea the day isn't quite over yet,
That
though,
could
right?
be.
All right. Hey, Tim, I had a great time working with you today. A
Thank you, Tom.
tremendous finish. A great day for Palatine Friend and for all the swimmers who were here and the divers as well in the 1994 IHSA Swimming and Diving Championship. Our next IHSA event on Sports Channel will be tonight, as Sports Channel will be replaying all of the IHSA boys basketball coverage tonight at 11:30. It's the Class 2A boys semifinal. This event has been produced and directed by Dave Turner. Graphics coordinator, Doug Stanton. Our remote facilities assistant is Sheila Brown. And our executive producer at Sports Channel is John Toohey. Remote facilities, great job again, guys, provided by Trio Video of Chicago. For Tim Dowling, I'm Tom Dorr saying goodbye for now. The preceding has been an exclusive presentation of Sports Channel.